Hey guys, it's Nikki from Still Moments Nursery. I'm just about to do Jonathan and Dylan's box packing for their trip home. They're brothers, they're not twins, but they're going into the same box because they're going to the same home. I'm going to pack them how I would pack my twins. So those of you who have been asking me how I pack up my twins, this is basically how I will do that. So we've got little baby Jonathan here at the front. He's a Jaden by Alana Peterson doll kit, and he's been made especially for his mum, using the custom order form on the website. And he's got light brown hair, light brown curly hair, and he's a little sleeping baby. So he's a gorgeous little boy. And then his brother is Dylan, and he's the Sugar by Donna Rupert kit. And he's another sleeping little boy, but he's got medium brown hair. So there they are. And they're both going home in the white grow suits because it's going to protect their limbs during their journey. So I'm going to wrap them up in their little grow suits so their mummy can unwrap them and then redress them as she would like. So all their nails and everything have been tipped, which is really adorable. I love the hands on these kits. But he's a big boy, so he's a 6-pounder and he's 5 pounds. So it's going to be a heavy box when I take it to the post office. But what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to wrap them up and then I'll put them into the box, and then I'll show you what clothing they're going to come home with and how I'm going to present it in the box for their mum. So I'll just go and wrap them up, and you can see how I'm going to do that. So Jonathan's, he's got a baby blue blanket, and it's got a little teddy bear imprint on it. So one of my favourite little blankets. I love the blankets with the imprints on it. I just think it's really cute. And Dylan is going home with the checkered print. So we'll wrap up little Dylan first. So let's bring him up and support his head because his head's been weighted. So he's a big, heavy baby. So as you can see, his head's nice and floppy. So what I'll do is I'll just leave a little bit of a corner at the top because I'm going to use that to cover his little face when he's in his box. So I'm just going to make sure he's all collars down and he's nice and presentable. Just make sure that his grow suit's all around the right way. His little hands sticking out. And then I'm just going to fold over his hands. I'm just going to put the bottom one just across his chest, and the one with his little fingers sticking up I'm just going to have just sort of popping out of his blanket. And then I'll just bring this corner around and just tuck it up under his little finger there. And then the other corner, just bring that round to hold his second hand in place. Just wrap him up tightly because I've got to fit 2 babies in this box, so sort of want them nice and tight. And then the end, because he's a big baby, I haven't got much left, so I'm just going to fold that over, or maybe even just tuck that in there. And then I'm going to put his name tag on. I've got them name tags. So this is Dylan's little name tag. So I've just written his name and just put a little bit of a sort of a decal on there just to make it a little bit more pretty. So when I tie his ribbon around him, which is just simply to hold the blanket in place, and then once I've tied the little bow, I'll just get his little name card and just sort of tie it to one of the ends. And that way his mum knows which doll is which. So there we go. So he's got his name tag attached. So his mum's going to know that that's Dylan. So when I cover up his face, if it's a surprise for his mum, I'm not sure if it is or not, but that way they can know which baby is which. So he's ready to go into the box. there he is, he's all ready. So he fits nicely in this box, nice and comfy. So now I can wrap baby Jonathan. So again, I'm going to support his little head. And I've got a little bit of his blanket. Again, the corner of his blanket just sticking up the top. And I'm going to use that to cover his little face. So with Jonathan, because he's got a little thumb sticking up, I'm going to use that hand and have that hand sticking out of his little blanket. So I'm going to wrap this side over first and just bring that over and around. And again, the little tail, I'm just going to bring that up and around. And he's got his little name card as well. And his has just got a little blue decal. So again, just get a little bit of blue ribbon and just to sort of hold the blanket in place. And then again, just with one of the ends, I'm just going to tie on his little card. And there is Jonathan already. And so he's ready to go in the box. So he's going to sit right down there beside his brother. Alrighty, so there's the boys in the box. So they look quite comfy in there. And they've all been wrapped up nice and tight so they're not going to move. And they've got their little name badges on so their mum knows which one is which. And then I've also got Jonathan's belly plate. So I've got to wrap that so it doesn't get marked or damaged. And I've got the two belly plates, the back and the anatomically correct for baby Dylan. So I'm just going to gather all the ties just in the middle of those. And these are what you tie the belly plate onto the doll. So you can tie just the bottom plate around and that just simply ties around the cloth body. So then it sits and it's in place and you can sort of use it as a display sort of while you're posing the doll. And again, you can do the same to the front. So you can just tie it around his little cloth body. And that's how you put on the belly plates. So with these, I'm just going to just wrap them in a bit of soft tissue paper. This just protects them on their journey home so they don't get scratched or damaged. And then I'll just put that one and that one. And I'll just tie a ribbon around that so then his mum knows that that's his. And Jonathan's, he's just got a little medium belly plate. I'll just stick it down a little bit with just a little bit of sticky tape. You don't want too much because you don't want them to be able to not get into the parcel. So just a little bit, just to hold the tissue paper in place. Okay, so that's both of their belly plates done. So again, I'm just going to just tie them in a nice little parcel. So I'm just going to do this gently. You don't want to do it too tightly because you don't want to damage anything. So just in a nice little knot there. And then what I'm going to do to make those little curls that you get in the ribbon, I'm just going to get my scissors and I'm just going to curl it just like that. That way it's just little curls, just like that. So I'll do the same to Jonathan's. And we just tie it like that and just tie it in a knot again. And we're just going to make the little curls again. And there's the little curls. So there's the boys' belly plates and Dylan's little bottom plate all wrapped up. So now they can go into the box. So I'll put Dylan's, of course, on his side. And I'm just going to just sit that over his little feet. And then put his name tag. I'll probably just put his name tag in there. And Dylan's just on his feet. And just tuck his little tag in. Just under there. So there you are. There's his belly plates in the box with them. So they still sound asleep, which is good. Okay, so now we've got their clothing. So I've got Dylan's clothing aside from his grow suit. So I've got just his blue display dummy. So it's still got the teat still attached. So his mum can just display that. And I'm going to put that into the little boxes that I picked up. And I've just put a little sticker on it. So I've just put, for Dylan's, I've just put the little baby face on it, which is a cute little baby face with a little spring as hair, which is just cute. His dummy is going to go into that. He's got a pair of white socks with baby on them. And his doggone cute little outfit and pants. So they're going to get all wrapped up together. So again, in a little parcel for his mum. So I just want to make sure that they're all folded nicely. And just, you know, a little bit of presentation. It doesn't go astray. And his little socks will sit on top. And then of course his little dummy will just sit in the little box. So that's Dylan's little outfit. And Jonathan's outfit, he's going home again with another little box, but this one's got a little bib on it. And his dummy is, again, it's not a magnetic one, it's just a display dummy. So it's still got the teat still attached. And he's got the little blue star on his. And he's got a little pair of blue socks, or blue and white socks. And his little outfit is a little rocker outfit. So a little black t-shirt with a red guitar on it. And that's why I chose the star dummy, because he's a little rock star. And his little matching pants to go with them. So that's what he's going home with. So I'm just going to wrap all their outfits up. Just make sure everything's nicely folded. Nice and flat. And that way it's going to be nicely packaged. So little socks on top. And his dummy just in the box. Just like that. So that's both of theirs. So what I'll do, I might cover their faces now so then I can actually put their goodies around. So I'll just cover his little hand there. Just cover his face with that extra little bit of blanket that I had at the top. There he is. His face is all nice and covered and it's going to be protected so he's not going to move and nothing's going to damage his face on his journey home. We'll do the same to little Dylan. I'll get his And then we'll just put that in and then tuck that up and over to protect his face. Just like that. So then what I'll do with their little box dummies, I'll just pop them just up the top of each of their little. So their boxes are in just at the top. So Jonathan's and Dylan's. And then with their clothing, I'm just going to wrap it in some nice tissue paper, so nice bright paper. So Dylan's little outfit will get all wrapped up in one. That and a little bit of tape just to hold that in place. So there's his little parcel. So I'm going to pop that. I'm going to put that over his little face. But before I do that, I'm going to put in diapers as well. So they're both going to come home with 4 diapers. So 2 of their diapers, of course, are going to go over their face. And that's just going to help to protect their faces and their eyelashes just a little bit more. So there's how the diapers, or 2 of their diapers, are going to go in that box. And then their clothing packages are just going to sit over and fill up the remaining area. We've got Dylan's little clothing outfit and these little socks. So again, we'll just wrap these up. And I like using the bright tissue paper because it's a little bit more happier and makes the box a bit more exciting and bright, which is one of my favourite things I like to do. Again, just a little bit of tape, because you don't want to make it impossible to get into. And there's Dylan's little package, or his clothing package, and that's going to go over his little face. So of course I'm probably going to have to fill up the area a little bit. So they're going to both come home with their baby powder bottles to make them smell nice and baby-like. And these are just the small versions that you can get. So I'm going to put in 1 each of those. So they're probably going to go just up the top of where Dylan's head is. So pop them up there. They're not going to move around. So they're just going to sit just beside Dylan there. And then his diaper can go on the top, and his clothing, again, can go on the top. So there's both of their clothing, 1 each diaper so far, their belly plates and their little name tags. So then the other remaining diapers, so I need another 2 more for each of them. So I'm just going to put those just over the top of their body, and I'm making sure that I put 1 over their hands, and that again is just going to help to protect them just a little bit more. So there's their other 4 diapers, and of course I've got their care instructions. So they've got so their mum knows what to do and what not to do, so they've got 1 each of those. And they've got their certificates as well. So this is Jonathan's certificate. So the photos that I've chosen out of all 3 of my favourite photos, and the date that he was born, and his weight, and his doll kit. So his mum knows what doll kit he was. And I've got Dylan's as well. So his 3 favourite photos, and all his details, just like Jonathan. So they're going home with both of those. I'm going to put in a couple of business cards so their mum knows all the details of where they got them from. And the envelope that I'm going to put all of the details in, you know, so everything's flat for their mum. And I've just put a little lizard on there. So all of those are going to go in, along with all of their order details and invoices are going to go in this nice little envelope. And then that is just going to sit on top. So once I've actually folded over all the tissue paper, I'll put this on top and I'll just have a little sort of thank you note on the top there. And that's how they're going to be sent home to their mum. But yeah, guys, that's their box packing. So I hope you thought it was interesting. And that's basically how I would pack my twins up if I would do the twins. So there you go, guys. I hope you thought it was interesting. Wish them a safe journey home. They haven't got far to go, so they're going to be in Australia still, which is really good. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye! Everything kept sliding down. Then I've also got blooper for you. Okay, so it's Jonathan and Dylan. Alrighty. Ready? Okay. Do the same to Jonathan's. Oops, wait. Into the little boxes that I picked up that are running away. Again, so Jonathan's dummy could probably go down side of him somewhere. Actually, I might cover your that way. No. Oh god. That way. Yay! Okay. Ha ha. Ha ha ha. Back at ya, buddy. Alright.